Ladies and gentlemen, now we are shifting our gears to a second panel discussion titled Digital and Omnichannel Retail, Blurring the Lines Between Physical and Digital. In today's rapidly evolving retail landscape, the integration of digital and physical experiences is not just a trend. It is a necessity for businesses striving to stay relevant and competitive. This session will dive into how retailers are leveraging technology to create a unified customer experience across all touchpoints. From online platforms to in-store innovations, the panelists will discuss strategies for blending the best of both worlds to meet the evolving expectations of today's consumers. So get ready for an insightful discussion as our panelists share their experience in navigating the challenges and opportunities of the omnichannel evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, moderating this discussion is the dynamic Mr. Kumar Rajagopalan, CEO of Retailers Association of India. Please welcome him on the stage with a round of applause for moderating the session. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our panel members as well. Please put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Ashok Patil, Managing Director and CEO of iTech RFID. Please welcome him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ashok Patil, a pioneer in RFID and IoT technology, has been leading iTech for over 2 decades. A serial entrepreneur, his passion for RFID and NFC technology has driven iTech's growth in providing innovative automation and IoT solutions across industries such as retail, logistics, and manufacturing. And he played a crucial role in the success of the Indian National Electronic Toll Collection Program and the Indian Customers Electronic Seal Program. We welcome Mr. Ashok Patil. Ladies and gentlemen, next panel member is Mr. Faizan Mohammed, Executive Director of Silicon Group. Let's welcome him on stage. Mr. Faizan Mohammed is a third-generation entrepreneur leading the Silicon Group, which boasts a rich heritage of 81 years in the retail industry. As a graduate engineer in information technology, Faizan views technology as a pivotal element for scaling the family business to new heights. His motto, traditionally professionalizing the business, reflects his commitment to preserving the company's legacy while integrating modern technology and professionalism. Faizan aims to open 100 new stores by 2029, demonstrating his ambitious vision for the future of the Silicon Group. We welcome you, Mr. Faizan Mohammed. Ladies and gentlemen, nextly let's welcome Mr. Gopakumar, COO of Bima Jewels, on stage to join our panel members. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gopakumar is a retail professional with over 20 years of experience in various formats, including food and grocery, lifestyle, and specialty retail. He began his career at Shoppers Stop, managing large format stores and leading the First Citizens loyalty program. He later served at Hindustan Unilever as head of operations and marketing for the e-commerce grocery venture and was the business head South at Future Retail, overseeing over 150 stores and facilitating key acquisitions. As COO of Bima Jewels, Mr. Gopakumar is focused on modernizing the brand while operating large format jewelry stores. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again welcome all our panel members with a round of applause. And I'd also like to request Mr. Nityanand Kamath, President of Malabar Chamber of Commerce, to kindly join our panel. Now, here we have all our panel members. Let's welcome them once again with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And now over to the moderator of our discussion, Mr. Kumar Rajagopalan. Yes, sir. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. We've got a great panel here with us, and I think we should make sure that we make the most of the people in this place. So firstly, a big round of applause for everybody. Yeah. I know that Mr. Kamath was called at the end and then he was trying to escape, but we got him also in. So we've got the Amitabh Bachchan also inside this place. So thank you there. We are now, it's already saying time's up here. So we are now between you and lunch, all right? Firstly, I want to know how many of you are okay for a 40 minutes session here. Raise your hands, please. Don't feel shy. almost everybody. Thank you so much. I know that it's us between you and lunch, so thank you for this. The second part is that we've got people who've got a huge amount of experience as part of the panel. We are talking about omnichannel in the modern world. However, it won't be complete unless we get two things happening. The first thing is that as soon as you kind of hear something which is going to be useful to you, okay, do clap, because then we know that what these guys are saying is going to be useful to you. So if it sounds correct and if you are going to be able to take it back and use it, do clap. Is that okay? Don't feel shy, say yes, no, yeah, okay. So, because we also want you all to be up there. You should be sharp to what's happening here. We're going to make it like a Duckworth-Lewis now. We've got a smaller time than what it was originally. I want to make sure that we don't do time overrun, so I'm going to do a DLS in this place. Okay. The second part is that we should try and find some time for 2 or 3 questions at the end. So keep that also in your mind. I think it's going to be fastest finger first. So if there are questions that crops up in your mind as the discussions happen, keep it ready so that we can come to you and we can get to your questions. When you ask the questions, do tell who you are and do point it to the person whom you want the answers to be. So these are the only 3 things. There is one request from the panelists here. I think each one of you come in with huge experience. Let's keep this really short. Let's give them real life examples. And let's make sure that they can go back with a whole lot of actionables. And then, of course, we can get a lot of claps, hopefully, from each one of them. So thank you. From an experience standpoint, I don't think we can really doubt any one of them. We've got Ashim here, who I think has been working with authorities. He's been working with authority. So he's an authority as far as the whole RFID adoption is concerned. He's been involved in the whole capability of all of us to drive through our cars through all the toll booths really fast. And the fact is that he's been a huge partner for RAI in most of the events that we do, and we learn from him every time, because he's not just a partner, it's also about the fact that he's able to help us in the things that we do. We already got an introduction to Mr. Nityanand Kamath, who has been gracious enough to kind of combine his association thought process along with RAI. And also he's a businessman by himself. I hope that I can get a lot more about his business today on this. But we also hope to get some input on how various retailers that he meets as part of the Malabar Chamber of Commerce are looking at the modern world and how are they wanting to ensure that they are up with times. The person who is really youngest looking in this place, Faizan, I don't even want to ask him his age because I'll immediately start feeling very old. But Faizan, the whole thought about Silicon Group and the way in which you guys really take care of the day-to-day needs of consumers and also possibly the emancipated need of consumers needs to be really understood from you and how you are able to match it in this modern world. Gopa and I have got a long relationship. We've worked together in Shopper Stop before. And of course, Gopa has also been involved in the jewelry brand that most of you must be really aware of. Anybody in this place who's not aware of Bima Jewels? Or can I put it the other way around? How many of you know of Bima Jewels in this room? Okay, so the advantage is that everybody knows the jewelry business, so everybody will have an opinion about the business, and I'm sure that we're going to get lots more from you. So we start with you, because Gopa, you are at that end. This whole concept of being in an omni-channel world, what does it mean for you, and how do you look at businesses, therefore, adopting to this whole omni-channel world?
Thanks for that, Mr. Kumar. First of all, good to be here again at the Kerala Retail Summit. I think the last one at Calicut was equally good. I'm sure this one will be fantastic. So yeah, I mean, the buzzword omni-channel has been going around for a while. And I've been part of few discussions wherein, this word is tossed up all the time. I think the customer is already omni-channel, first of all. Customer is very comfortable shopping across any format, and that too very seamlessly. And leave alone, the digital kind of channels. A customer shopping at a Kirana shop for a small necessity, to calling in and getting something delivered, to kind of, going into a supermarket, hypermarket, or the mall, or going to Amazon or whatever, and pick up all the items. So they are they're already comfortable seamlessly shopping, and they have different needs which are being met. I think the whole, from the retailer perspective, how do we kind of blur these lines between the physical stores and the digital space? That's where the challenge is, right? And there is one word which comes to my mind, which is, I call it taction. Yeah, taction is a space. Taction is nothing but the sensory experience, right? You can't get that in the digital space, right? So how do you kind of dial up on that in the physical space, and at the same time in the digital space, how are you able to carry that experience forward by, we do virtual try-ons through digital space. So that is basically, how you look in that. And also we take customer feedback and an NPS that we do, and then we go and correct that. There is also what you call, visual AI, which has come in, using gesture to see if customer likes that product, and then that can drop into the shopping basket. Under the hood, we are working on many such technologies, and I think it's blurring of lines. Customer is already there. How soon can you be there from discovery, that is inspiration, discovery, availability, to pricing, promotion, and then post-purchase validation is the kind of challenge that we as retailers today are working on. Yeah.
So thank you. Are there places that you'd like to clap there? The thing that I loved the most was this whole visual ability to go online and then try. So virtual try-on is an amazing thing. I do want some input on this. Is that really working for consumers? Are there a lot of people who try on any data that's available with you?
Yes, of course. So we have kind of brought it to the stores now, and all the modern new stores in like Hyderabad, we've opened 5 stores, and we fitted that out with this virtual try-on which is there. So we see young consumers, how difficult it is to put on necklaces and earrings. The ladies here would bear with me on that, right? And during COVID, we did that because there is also the touch and other hygiene-related issues also. So consumers coming, trying that on, and then narrowing it down to a selection from, let's say, 100 items. 100 is too much to try, but let's say 15, 20 items to try, and bring it down to 3 or 4 items, and then physically trying that on has really worked for us. And they're also able to have conversation with their friends and family. In Hyderabad, you see that a lot. People usually do a video calling, and someone sitting in the US is giving their comments on it. So they're able to carry that look and transmit this digitally to the customers to their friends and family who are there, and they get a thumbs up or thumbs down, and we can see that really happening. So, and the data behind that is, obviously we are able to then narrow down and keep churning these designs and assortment and see what works, and then put some of that in the digital space and see traction for that. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. I think the technologies have to catch up with us to ensure the transaction finally is enabled. Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies in this room, do you like this whole concept of try-ons? Raise your hands. Feel free. Virtual? No?
I still would love to see and touch.
Yeah.
And we welcome that a lot, yeah.
So good. I think there's good news and bad news. The good news is that I think women still want to touch the product. Actually, not so bad news. The other news is that they may still do a virtual try-on, but would still come in and buy. So that's the beautiful thing that's available for you even now. The next one is for Faizan. Faizan, you are in a very, very competitive business. You want your customers to come every day to your business, right? From when we talk about retail, recency frequency is a concept that we always work with. But when it comes to your kind of business, recency frequency should be the highest. What do you see is happening to this whole world that you are in for this whole, and with respect to omnichannel space?
Good evening. Thanks for having me here. So, to your question, Kumar sir, I think the market now that we are in, I was giving we were talking to our team members just 2 days before. So my father started with just one store in Kavita, MG Road. So customers were queuing in there for buying our products. But when you look at our times, we are queuing behind the customers for giving our products. So I think there has to be a reason for the customer to come to us, definitely a why. One thing that has worked for us is definitely loyalty. So we mix CRM and loyalty together. That is, we profile customers based on the frequency that they visit, based on what they've bought, like if they've bought belts, they should be buying same color shoes also along with it. And have they fallen off? Have they increased their purchases with us? So that gives us data on whether they're dying or they're increasing their purchases with us. So that gives us exact data about each customer. So then we go deep into each customer and give personalized messages to each customer. That is how we ensure that the customers return to us, number one. What was the other part?
The other part is how are you looking at this whole omnichannel world, and how are you
First of all, I think this
looking
omnichannel
at it
word
as
is
actually, are you looking at it as an opportunity or is it a threat?
definitely it's an opportunity. But I think for businesses, omnichannel word is, I think it is a very complex something which, smaller or medium businesses cannot get into. It's just that we're supposed to be available in every channel that the customer is at. We have to be online, we have to be in social media, we have to be definitely in the store, and we have to keep that experience unified. Like if you have your brand colors, every brand color should be there. It should be the same in the store, it should be the same in the website, it should be the same in social media. People should feel, even if you remove the font, people should feel that it is your brand. You should have a unified experience in all the channels.
So firstly, he said that omnichannel is definitely not a threat, it's an opportunity. Any of you agree? Yes or no? Oh, please do feel free to clap your hand then. That's worthwhile. The question that I have is, do you have an example of what's happened therefore by customers? For example, if somebody's seen you online and then they've come into the store, are there conversations that happens which tells them that I've seen this is what you're giving, so I've come into the store to check out?
Definitely, definitely. So we've done paid ads around each store's catchment. So we cannot actually measure whether that customer has come into the store when you show the paid ads, though there are many measurement systems, like now Meta has launched store walk-ins measurement, where the customer's number and the location is also tracked. Like 5-kilometer radius, you give an ad, and that number has to come into your store. So that is mapped by Google Map, and they let you know whether your ad is successful or not. Number two, we have done a coupon system where you run paid ads, and customers ask for that coupon into the store. So that measurement is okay. It is turned, positive.
So that's a good one, because A, you have to do paid ads, and secondly, couponing is the right way of measuring customer response to whatever it is that you're putting offers on. A coupon doesn't necessarily mean a huge discount, but it creates an urgency for customers to come in and act with you.
Yeah, but
so
it should not dilute your brand also.
You shouldn't.
Your brand
So
should
he
be
says you should not dilute the brand also. Do you agree to that? Makes sense. So thank you so much. We then go on to Mr. Nityanand Kamath. I hope it's okay to call you Nityanand. Nitin Kamath, okay. So Nitin Kamath. So we talk to Nitin. Nitin, we need inputs from you on two counts. One is because you are a retailer yourself and you retail cars and you retail actually automobiles, bikes, etc. What has been your experience on this whole omnichannel world, and how is that particular part of the business changing in the omnichannel world? And the second part is, because you are interacting with so many retailers who are local retailers, what is their impression and what is your thought on how they should be competing?
Thank you, Kumar, for this opportunity to be in the panel. I would have preferred to be there and listening to all the industry leaders. Anyhow, and being an observer of what's happening to the business around, and watching or tracking, the success of certain brands or certain business models which are taken to really a different level by going in for the omni-channel kind of concept. First thing which comes in is like a lot of examples which we need to learn, where we can take even a smallest business to a much larger scale by adopting this concept. You look at Lenskart. Maybe about 10 years back, Lenskart or anyone buying a spectacle was just, going to a particular shop and giving all the, going to the test and buying it at whatever cost we are getting it. It used to be unregulated. The pricing was also very unregulated in terms of at times you need to pay very high cost for our lens and glasses. And imagine what transformation Lenskart took this business into. They seamlessly kind of connected customers to their website, seamlessly connected to try out different options on visual kind of models, and then attracted them to come to the stores, and the number of stores in each and every city kept on multiplying. And this small business of specs, selling specs, was kind of taken to multi-crore kind of level. You take for example, Mytra or Myntra, or you take, let's say, Apple. Look at how efficiently they are connecting the digital to the store. How they inspire everyone to get a feel of their product, the brand, how they successfully keep pushing their brand up, and then look at the experience what you get when you go and drop into any store. So they maintained the same kind of feel of the product and the brand, what you go through the websites or social media or digital world, and the same what you get in their store. So this omnipresent channel is a reality. You need to adopt technology to feel how we can go step by step into it. When I say even a small business can adopt it, definitely the cost factor you have to look into, but you can actually start small, and then step by step get into the concept of being present in social media, being present in your website, being active website, being present with your brand ambassador, going for Instagram posting, regular posting, and then try to retain your customer and make sure that the customers invited or connected to your store, where you can get a touch and feel before you buy a product. Like we're talking about jewelry, the concept of you need to really touch and feel. But at the same time, being in digital kind of, you get to know what all are the possibilities which will definitely attract you all to the store. So it's mainly to attract them to the store. You need to have your social media presence. You need to have the Instagram promoters, and make sure that you connect the customer on a regular basis to make sure that their attention is kind of captured. The whole idea is to make sure that when they are busy in their own world, not able to move and reach out to different stores, when they are working, they can get to know what is available to their interest, and then connect and make sure that you attract the customer and business. That's all I could.
So my thought goes back to this whole automobiles business. What is happening there in the omnichannel? Are you seeing customers behaving differently?
Yeah, automobile business again.
For example, if somebody comes to buy a bike with you today versus what they were doing 10 years before, how do you see them differently?
Definitely. In fact, the presence in social media has become very, very important now. The company also has got such a versatile kind of connect with the customer in terms of the websites and the digital connect, which they connect with the customers on a regular basis to inform them what is available, what is different, and try to get them to the store. It's all about in attracting them to the store. So even the kind of transition from being kind of actively involved and connecting to the market, connecting to the customers in terms of attractive, not just the product feature alone. Maybe a lot of activities done by the bike drivers, rallies, and what you can do, the lifestyle. All that is kind of given to the customer so that they will get attracted to the product, and they'll come and become a customer.
That's a good one. I don't know whether you all heard it in the way in which you told. Sometimes it's not just about selling. It's about creating an experience which is a brand-led experience. I think most of the automobile sectors, you actually told it in an easy form, but it's a very great marketing tool for most of the retailers, because sometimes you may be able to initiate trials, you may be able to initiate marketing positioning by just getting customers to respond to you over social media, and therefore making them come in and do things that would otherwise not be able to do by just opening up a store. And that's a great input to take, because some of you may be selling food, some of you may be selling services, some of you may be creating a new brand. I think that's a very great input, at least as far as I am concerned. Does it make sense? The second, you can clap. The second part I liked was that you touched upon Instagram. And I know of many of the retailers who are very small retailers, not necessarily very large, who don't have very large marketing budget, but they seem to have done a great job on Insta. Many of the D2C brands that I have encountered over the last few months have all started initially by showcasing what they can do over Insta, which means they have just shown it on social media. Social media seems to be the easiest method of creating customer connect and then taking it to the next level. So sometimes you may not need to have very large marketing budget, you may not need to have very deep pockets, but you can definitely start something in the retail business by creating something on social media, and that immediately gives you an entry into the business. So what we used to consider as difficulty to enter into the business is now happening. So this is actually broken the barrier for entry into this retail business, and I think that's really useful. So these two things is really useful from what you've told, so thank you there. And taking that up. And many of you may want to try it if you are not already there. Ashim, you've been in this business for some time now. As soon as people hear RFID, there is a little bit of a hesitation. At least that's my impression. How many of you have used RFID in your businesses so far? 1, 2, not 3. So this is like going to that market where people were not wearing enough sandals or chappals. So you are into this business. Is getting into RFID really that difficult?
Hi, Kumar.
Or using RFID?
First of all, thank you for having me here, and congratulations to Rai for yet another successful show. And thanks for inviting us to the beautiful land of Kerala. So when we talk of RFID, I think all the hands should go up, because in a way we are all using RFID. So everybody's car has got a tag, which is a fast tag, and it is RFID. Everybody has a credit card, tap and pay. Okay, the chip inside, when you tap, what happens in the air over 1 inch or 2 inches, it's RFID. Everybody's phone, your mobile phone, whether it's an iPhone, it's always on, the NFC in your phone, on the top lens. You can come to my stand and I can show you how your phone has got RFID in it, but we are not aware about it. Every Android has got NFC. You have to enable it. Whoever are exporters here, every container which you are shipping out of the country, or every container you are getting inside the country, has got RFID on it. We do 45% of India's containers, export containers, and 65% of India's import container traceability, and 60% of our fast tags. So RFID is all around us. RFID in retail, where we went for item level identification. There was the cost per tag. Was always the per item, the cost of the tag, and it was not just the cost of the tag, but the operational cost of attaching the tag. That is also a challenge, unless it happens from the source, and also it's always a long journey. And we look at it from the perspective, earlier when a product was getting tagged, maybe they had handwritten labels on it. Then it got into printing, then self-adhesive instead of attaching a glue. Then a barcode was added, but human readable still remained. And now a chip is added onto it, and the barcode is also there. The chip, the barcode, and so what we do at the end of the day, if we are putting a chip on an object, where it is helping your traceability right from your point of sale to the source. And unlike barcode, it is a unique ID which cannot be duplicated, and it's a unique ID globally. So every product gets a unique ID, and again with the GS1 or the barcode standard. So it's nothing proprietary in it. And it helps in your inventory, a quick inventory which you used to do once in 6 months. For somebody like Bima, you can do thrice in a day. We have a customer with high-end luxury watches. They used to do the counting of the watches 3 times in a day. But it is counting. It is not identification. And RFID is identifying, And there was a human dependency on counting. Here there is no human dependency on identification. So you just walk around, it's like doing 3 times puja with a agarbatti in a store, and you pick up very quickly. We can scan 500 tags per minute. And then there are limitations of physics. the adoption for any technology, it's always a long curve. You know, I am in RFID for last 25 years now. And when I started right after college, people didn't even know what RFID stands for. I used to carry a jhola with me with tags and readers. And today's UHF RFID on FASTag and all, it didn't even exist. It came into existence in 2006. And we started way back in 99, 2000. Coming to the Omnichannel and how we are benefiting, you know. So if you have to relate with RFID, you know, you have to think about us as the blockchain of the physical world. You know, what blockchain is doing for the traceability of your data in the digital space, RFID is doing for your physical product. So what we do when we attach a tag to a product and when we do the inventory and traceability, now somebody is ordering online a white shirt or a blue jacket, and I'm ordering from a pin code in South Mumbai, you know, the physical inventory of all the stores today of our customers, whether it is Reliance or Tata, Zudio or you know, by the way, Zudio, all stores are RFID with an average selling price of 350 rupees. So this Zudio has changed the thought, the myth that RFID is an expensive technology, and they are expanding in Middle East and all. And from day one, all the stores are RFID tagged. So when we do the inventory, you know, which they used to do once in 6 months, they are doing every morning. The store doesn't open unless the physical stock is updated. Now, as a result of this, when somebody is ordering online, your safety stock, which was 2, has become 0. Okay. Secondly, the retrieval time, you know, the white shirt can be in the back of store in one of the cartons, you know. When with your handled RFID, which we can again demonstrate at our stand, there is a Geiger search which will take you to the product. So retrieval time from few hours have gone to less than 1 minute. So the omni-channel fulfillment, which was around 70% or 80% in store, has gone to 100% with all our customers. Moreover, we are now, you know, from the carbon footprint point of view, somebody ordering from Mumbai, South Mumbai, the order used to be routed to Bhiwandi DC. Now it is going to the nearest store. So the fulfillment is also happening from the nearest store. So what we are doing are building solutions in 3 buckets, you know, cost optimization, operational efficiency, and also how to enrich the customer experience. So from the customer experience perspective, we have fitting room solutions, which are where in a fitting room you cannot put cameras. So RFID is working very well. We have got solutions where for self-checkout systems, we have got endless aisle solutions where you can not only do click and collect, but you can order in the store and it gets shipped to your, because if the size is not available, the style is not available. So all these solutions, and so when we are designing a solution, we are thinking from 2 aspects. You know, our customer is a retailer. But when we are designing, we are not only thinking of our customer while conceptualizing, but also the consumer, who is our customer's customer. You know, so all the 3 journeys we are taking care of. And Kumar, like any other technology adoption, you know, it has started, it has triggered. Globally, if you see, I think India, what we have done in digital payments, you know, same way we are doing in RFID and IoT technology also. We started late, but the number of use cases which our country has built on RFID to get the ROIs are phenomenal, you know, globally. And I always attend the NRF in January, which happens in New York. And 3 years ago, you know, we had in one of the RFID forums, I had told that RFID in India will penetrate to such a level that our street side vendor also on a thela, when he is putting the clothes, at the end of the day, he will do the inventory with his mobile, take it on the sack and go home. And that is what they are still on the Swift code in payments. And we have done it on QR code with a panwala and with a cup of coffee. So that is where the technology is going. And RFID today, we are a bit ignorant about how it is all around us. Like when the Bluetooth came in our mobile phone and we didn't know what to do with the Bluetooth. You know, we had a Bluetooth in our phone and now it is a default. You know, there's no phone without Bluetooth. So I'll take a pause here. So what the point I'm trying to make is that it is a journey. We all have started walking onto that journey. It is more about understanding how the technology can and building the use cases. Like in case of jewelry, everybody wants an invisible tag. you know, because whatever you put on it, but we have to compromise. So it's the same way with technology, with the laws of physics, you know, you have to compromise on the physical form factors and so many other things, but cost is not a deterrent anymore, and the use cases are coming more and more.
So thank you, Ashim. It was quite an interesting thing. Firstly, I think the very fact that he told that we actually use RFID every day, was it useful? Many times we don't even realize what we are using before we get to know what it is. I do have to tell you that one of the first things that I told Ashim when I met him was, do whatever you want to do outside, but I want a RFID calling card with me. And then I said some of our members should be able to create a RFID calling card so that I don't need to ever give a card to anybody. I can just tap it on their phone and they've got my details. I don't want any secretary to enter details of my contact details, and I want it to be done automatically, and I think Ashim helped that to happen. I'm sure he can get that done for some of you here.
So all of you are, please feel free to go to our stand and collect your free NFC card, where you don't need to carry a paper business card anymore. You can just tap on your phone, iPhone or Android. You can fill in your email ID, contacts, whatever, and it becomes your digital business card. So, and it gets into the phone book of the receiver, you know. So, and it's got you'll get a welcome email in which you can edit all those things. So please feel free to collect your free NFC card.
So that's a little bit of marketing for him. But but having said that, I think this whole concept around RFID definitely is going to make it faster, like you said. And in this, we did talk about speed in the modern day, makes it faster, more accurate, because you really know what's available. Sometimes you say, some of you who got multiple stores would recognize this immediately. Your system says that you've got 3 items sitting inside a store, but in reality, those 3 items are not there in the store. So you are not replenishing an item at all, thinking the stock is already there. But the fact is that your inventory management system on books and the real physical inventory is not matched, and therefore you've not been supplying that item into the store, and the loss of business is dramatically more than the amount of money that you would have otherwise spent on RFID. So I think it's very important to make sure that in the modern day, you have accurate stock in every single part of your business so that you don't lose opportunity. I mean, I can imagine how much it would be. Let's say that you don't replenish these 3 stocks for 15 days, and your rate of sale could have been, let's say, 3 in a week. Then for 15 days, you already lost 6. The sale of possibility of 6, and then you can go so on and so forth, and then you are anyway, if you're all calculating things like inventory turns, it's already taking it to a different level. So for any retailer worth his salt to understand right inventory turn, I think it's important to know how your stocks has to be accurate, and I guess this is one of these methods of doing it. I like this concept of a street side vendor doing everything, doing RFID, putting it on his Jola and going back. I'm thinking someday Santa Claus will give his gifts like this, RFID tags. We are getting nearer to Christmas, so it's useful. Maybe go back to Gopa. Gopa, you were talking about the need for opening up multiple stores, right? What if suddenly you have to think that, no, I don't want to open up multiple stores. I want to do all my business only online. Is that a possibility?
Well,
sorry, we didn't discuss this. I've just put a special question on him.
Well, it feels like, you know, the last time I sat across Kumar was when he was doing a business review for our flagship store of ShopStop at Andheri. You wanted it to be a 100 crore property from 60 crores, I think. You said modest targets then. Eh? So it feels like a review, but yeah, you're known for it, Kumar, so I'll take that spin. So of course, if you look at the retail landscape, you know, it's like the grass is greener on the opposite side, they say, right? So on the other side. So many of the physical retailers, post-COVID, it has accelerated and, you know, want to set up digital practices, and then Omnichannel is then you give that one view of data, customer, and all those things, right? So that's one part of it. As far as the the online retailers are concerned, you can see they're setting up physical stores. You mentioned about Lenskart. In our own category, there is Carrot Lane, and you know, on a previous panel on Phygital, I think I was speaking to the Carrot Lane team, and I believe he said that 90% of their sale actually comes from the physical space. So there is, I mean, you cannot, probably there are some formats wherein you could have one or the other, but the way in India is both. And I ran a grocery setup when HUL, at that time it was called HLL, wanted to do grocery online. We did it way back in 2005-06 with the kind of internet speeds and those kind of issues which were there. And we had a 100-seater call center to kind of complete the purchase. And it was quite a tedious job. We got this high-end research agency to go and speak to our consumers. They were not completing the purchase, right? So there were things in the basket. There were other challenges which were there way back. I'm talking about 20 years back, right? So one thing the consumer said, and it was across a good sample size was, touch and feel is very important for us, So hence we started the format of taking, supermarket on wheels to these societies in Mumbai. And that got in a lot of consumers enrolled. And the first purchase that happened, they went through the whole process, the purchase, the way they can, easy journey in terms of purchasing. If there are returns, if there are quality issues, all those kind of journeys were completed there. And then we saw adoption of that. Of course, it was very difficult to do online at that point of time. I think one cannot exist without the other. For me, it is both hand in hand. It is not that online is cheap. If you look at the cost to serve, there are these big giants, Meta and Google. They surely, just now the WhatsApp rates have been increased, last week or so. They know that a lot of people are getting into it. Rich communication service has been launched now in Android phones. I think it'll soon come to Apple. It's at 20 paise right now. I think a lot of brands who have realized this are adopting. It is cheap right now. If there are retailers here and smaller retailers also who want to reach out to their consumers, should definitely make use of it. Go beyond SMS where you can communicate very well and get those databases into your, data warehouse in that sense. So there are opportunities there. It's a matter of how you use it. It's not cheap. Efficiencies have to be driven in both these spaces. So yeah. Kumar, I think we need to be both the places because consumer is already there.
So you need to be in both the places. That's the summary of it. No claps? So I think every time we clap, we get back something in our brain, and that helps us subsequently to remember. That's the reason I keep talking about these claps. Also, it tells us you are all awake. Faizan, just to get us to know, what are the kind of broad products that you all sell from your stores?
So we have,
now is the time for you to market.
We have 3 verticals. One is fashion footwear. We sell footwear. We also sell accessories like belts, wallets, bags, travel luggages. The other vertical is supermarkets and hypermarkets, all your daily needs. And the third one is we are also into food. So we, hot food, fast food, restaurants also.
So you've got all these 3 formats with you. When you think about how you are able to utilize the modern day businesses, I'm sure there is one part of you which is very clear, that you want to make sure that customers are coming in, and like everybody's been telling here, the touch and feel is important. And end of the day, if you need to consume a product, you'll need to be able to get it in your hands. That's the important part. Why should a person not be buying online and beyond this whole touch and feel? Because I know if it's a FMCG product, I can buy it online, I can buy it from your store, but it's the same product. Why should they still come to your store?
I think it comes back to each customer's need. Because when I decide I want to go shopping, it'll be mostly when I am, a little bit tired of working for a long time, or I need some special experiences when I visit stores. That is number one. Number two, when you talk to people inside the store, when you see other crowd around you, that is definitely a refreshing experience for you. That is why I think people go outside. We always tell our teams that in today's world, you have to give a special personal experience to all our customers, because that is what makes us different from being online and offline. I think these 3 reasons put it up, why you need to choose offline. And definitely, sometimes you need to get a feel of your product before buying, because only if you see the product, experience the product, you can buy it online. You decide to buy it online.
So that's as far as the experience is concerned. Are there people in this room who want to say, why do they still want to go to the stores at all? Yeah. Can we get the mics? Yeah. Is there any more mics left, or shall I just go there? I'll go there. I'll come there. Now, I'm also going to take questions from you because we've just got another 3-4 minutes left. I did tell you it's a shortened version. So is that okay with all of you? Yeah.
All right, so while you said FMCG product, standard product, there's nothing to choose, but let's say I'm looking for a hair cream. Sorry, I shouldn't say that for you, but looking for a hair cream, I know there are 15 products out in the market. It's nice to go into a store like maybe Health and Glow or something which has multi-brands to figure out what are the pros and cons, because they have consultants there for every special product. I think that's a great reason to go into a store. I can browse endless aisles on, Nykaa, for example, and look at all those 15 products, but I still won't know. I don't trust the reviews online because I don't know how many of those are bought. So I think that's one reason.
So right, sample. I mean, also I take it that when you go and test it inside a store, you will try to put one cream here, one cream here, one cream here, in 3-4 places and see which is the cream that works. I never have to put that cream. Actually, I can put a little bit here, but thank you. I think that's a good one. Customer trials. I think it's something that really helps you. Any other reasons? I can tell you something. When I buy things online, if I am buying, let's say, a tomato, many a times I'm worried whether I'm going to get the right kind of tomato. Do you agree? Sometimes when I buy small thing like lime, lemon, again I'm not so sure. When I buy jaggery from a nearby store of mine, I know what kind of jaggery he gives. We all think it's just jaggery, but each one of us have a different kind of jaggery for different things, right? If you want to create a nehi payasam, it's a very different jaggery, right? And is a normal jaggery okay for you to create a nehi payasam? I'm told that Kerala nehi payasam is the best. That's why I'm bringing that up. So it's very, very different. Each one of us have got a requirement which can be only fulfilled because a particular one would be able to give. Trust is the biggest thing that can be provided by a physical retailer. I think we all need to really start building on trust. Why the online companies are also doing things offline is to create that concept of trust, and that really helps. Sorry, you want to tell something?
I said retail is therapy, right? I mean, doing retail is also stress buster for a lot
Yeah,
of people.
absolutely.
Like someone's talking about depression and they go to salons. I think retail is one where a lot of people go out to relax or do the stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Retail is therapy.
Yeah.
You want to say something? You may want to tell us who you are and then tell us what you want to tell.
Hi, my name is Anand, and I represent VirtueBox.
You can sit down. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you represent?
VirtueBox.
Okay.
And one aspect, very, very tangential aspect of in-store shopping is the environmental aspect of lesser return. Usually when you buy in a store, the likelihood of you returning something is very, very low.
Yeah.
Whereas if you need a dress, you would order 4. Some of them would be of the size, some of them, obviously, the sizings are all over the place. You would pick one, which is nice, and the other 3 would be returned, and for you to either get a different size, this whole shipment,
Absolutely.
the plastic waste, the transportation, fairly.
I agree. And I can actually give you a very clear customer view to this. People keep telling returning is so easy online.
Exactly. My wife.
But who buys to return? Unless you are a chore. Right? We buy it because we want to use it for a particular instance. If I'm going to return it, it means I've actually lost out on a customer's experience that they'd have otherwise had if they had got the right product the first time. Right. When you go and buy it from a physical store, mostly you're not wanting to return. So thank you for that.
So that's a very different aspect of...
That's a nice tangential view also. So thank you so much for this view. We can take up 1 or 2 questions from you. You may need to tell whom do you want to ask the questions to, and you could get that answer happening from there. You've got a question? For whom? Anand's got a question.
One of the experiences I saw in Dubai recently is where a shoe store has screens on the wall, and they do not have too many shoes on the space. The space is very small, only for people to lounge and sit and try the shoes. When you pick one, they get it from a dark room somewhere. So that way your spend on the store is less, and you do not have to curate a very large place for customer experience. Now, do you believe that is something which can happen for other things as well? And I believe there is a very nice culmination of both digital and physical at the same place. So, thoughts?
I think since I'm into shoes, I'll answer that
Yes.
question. So, first of all, having a digital screen inside the store can create a big difference. Like, it'll make your brand more forward-looking, not so traditional. Number one. Number two, you won't have to hold inventory, too much inventory, because if you have a kiosk, you can just select the product and it can come into your, maybe the customer's address or the store that the customer is purchasing from. So I think, yes, that is the future. Stores will be like that. This store, what you were talking about, must be an experience store, where it was more like a customer's experience, where there's a lounge, there is screens all along the store, where you have to select and the product will come to you. So I think, yes, that is the future.
Any other?
I think this kind of hybrid kind of models will definitely come in every other sector also. So it's all about in what way you're going to bring down the cost, in what way you're going to improve the experience of the customer, and in what way you're going to make it efficient to show much more than what you can show physically. So this the concept of maybe a beautiful high-resolution screen which shows different products, and then try to give the option to the customer to finalize on what they want and immediately get it from a dark store. That will definitely going to happen, because real estate is going to be very expensive.
Yeah, actually, there used to be a business called Argos. I don't know how many of you have seen Argos in the UK before. In fact, Shopper Stop had also tied up with Argos to bring it here. Their whole model was to have just a kiosk kind of a thing at the front, and then they had a distribution center which was fully packed, so you could bring it immediately. For whatever reasons, it didn't really work in India, but it used to be very, very big in the UK for a very long time. I think it's a matter of how to really bring how much of items do customer want to see physically at that time? How much would they want to see as endless aisle is the question that people have to still balance. Not having anything inside the store just makes it a showroom without people knowing what's going to come out. But having a few, but having a whole lot of other things available can really work. In fact, people like DMart are already doing that DMart Ready concept, where they keep a few items, but you're buying more items. But it's a matter of time as to how well can you manage the two. Not having enough items, not worth it. Less items is sometimes worrisome, but having too many items is also cumbersome. So thank you for that. One last question. I think Mr. Aswani has got one.
Mr. Gadkari has been talking about replacing FASTag.
Yeah.
Going to use Google.
It is not replacement of FASTag. It is basically what his vision is. The minister is saying that in India, the 40% roads are still non-tollable. Only 60% roads are tollable. And he wants to make those roads tollable. But having a plaza is not practical on these places, And the reason we have plazas is because our Gadget and our Motor Vehicle Act, if you are defaulting on your toll payments, only the state can catch hold of you, and the payments have to be settled between the state and the center then, and that's why they need a plaza over there, which is owned by the center. Okay. Still the enforcement has to be by the state. So there are many more complicated issues, but the GNSS, that is the satellite-based tolling system which we are talking about, is to make those road tollables, and the Honorable Minister wants a free flow kind of a solution which can be still achieved in RFID, but he also wants pay as you use. Okay, today if you are using out of the 50 kilometer, 60 kilometer stretch, if you are using only 20 kilometers, you still have to pay for the full toll, So he wants to bring in a concept of pay as you use, and that's where a lot of trials are going on. We as an organization have also been working. He is pushing it hard. Okay, we have also been working. On the commercial vehicles, the pilots have started, but on the private vehicles, we see a lot of issues in acceptance because of privacy issues. I wouldn't want my vehicle to have a telematic, not on the highway, but all the time on, and with the SIM card and the data going to maybe even whatever kind of a secure server. So we still don't know how, and then the cost of adoption is also going to be very high, But we can have a discussion on it offline, On retail, I'll just add one, take a minute, Kumar. On my personal experience on online and offline, I think it's about needs and wants. If I need a white shirt or if I need clothes, I go to a store. Okay, but I need a Louis Vuitton white shirt L size, I do it online. I need 100 grams of Amul butter, I'll go and do it online. But if I have to go to I need 1 tola of gold, I'll buy it online from a bullion. But I need a jewelry which will look good on me, I would like to go to a store. Same is with shoes. And with the Dubai store, it is from Apparel Group. And it is a dark store with a lot of beautiful displays and lounges and all. I forgot the name of the store, but they are opening up more and more stores like that. And in these kind of stores also, basically they have a huge back of store, compared to your conventional stores. The BOH is very, very large compared to the FOH, and it's just creating an experience. So I think online, offline, we were talking of B2B, B2C, it's all about O2O now. Online to offline and offline to online. And both are going to complement each other, both are going to coexist. It is just one more mode. Like if you have options of paying through your QR code or credit card or cash or whatever, it's just a mode. In the same way you are buying, it's just a mode. And as long as the product which you are shopping for is a physical product, and I say it with a lot of conviction that as long as you are buying a physical product, the brick and mortar store experience cannot be replaced.
Okay, with that, if all of you enjoyed this, big round of applause and thank you to the people who came in and added value on the stage.